Hey guys, welcome back. Glenn with Old School Millennial. Today I'm going to be showing y'all what I do to maintain my Stihl MS 261. So for starters, you guys, I just got through running this saw for several days, bucking up firewood, cutting down some trees. It's in some need of some maintenance. This video is meant to show you what I do after running my saw for a couple days out cutting firewood. There are some more in-depth things that I do when I'm maintaining a chainsaw and I'm like fully servicing it that I can speak to, but I'm not going to be doing that today. This is meant to show you like the maintenance that I do after running it. Let's get into this saw. I'm going to take it down to my chainsaw shop. Let's get this thing cleaned up and ready to go. All right, you guys, for starters, I'll just show you what some of the tools that I use to maintain my saws. You're gonna want a flat file. You'll want a hand file for hand sharpening. Of course, you're gonna want a depth gauge. And most importantly, you're gonna want a scrunch. All right, first off, I'm gonna take apart the saw. All right, I'm gonna loosen a little bit of the tension off on the chain, loosen the bar nuts. All right, now to loosen the chain, take the clutch cover off. As you can see, I've been running my saw a lot, so I need to get this thing cleaned up. You can see I've got this thing pretty dirty. I need to get this whole thing cleaned up. Now, my favorite way of cleaning this off is with compressed air. But you don't have compressed air available, you can use a brush and a rag, no problem. It'll just take a little bit more time. You definitely want to wear safety glasses when you're running compressed air though on these saws. When you're cleaning under this cover, you want to, anytime you're trying to clean some of this dust and stuff up here, you want to leave the air filter on, and then I'll be cleaning the air filter separately. When I'm doing an overhaul or doing a more in-depth maintenance, I want to check the spark plug. Right now I'm just cleaning up. This is just a basic maintenance. I'll go into more depth on another video. When you're blowing out the air filter, you're going to go ahead and cover up your saw because you've taken off the only protection between that and the carburetor. And when you're blowing out the air filter, you want to do it from the inside out. Okay, next you want to take the chain off your bar, and I'm going to be sharpening mine here in a second, but wipe down my bar. You're gonna make sure that all these holes up here get cleaned out. That's where the bar oil goes in. For cleaning, you can use a degreaser. There's a lot of different things you can clean it with. Just what you have available. It's not rocket science on cleaning the bar. You want to be sure that the sprocket on the end of your bar is moving freely. Whenever I go over my saw again, I'll be sure to dress up my guide rails, but I only do that every once in a while. It's not something you got to do every single time. But one thing you do need to do every single time is clean out your guide rails. Yeah, if you don't clean out your guide rails every time, the sprocket at the end can get jammed up and just cause excess wear on your bar. That's where all the bar oil is flowing. You really just need to clean it as much as you can. Your saw is going to run a lot cooler and faster. Your saw is going to run a lot better. One thing will notice whenever I put the bar back on, I had the letters upside down. Every time you run your chainsaw, it's good to flip your bar. It can be every time you run out of gas or just once a day that you use it, but you want to be sure to flip your bar so that you get even wear on both the top and bottom. So I'll be putting it on the letters up because I had it upside down. So when you're putting the clutch cover back on and tightening the bar nuts, just remember you don't need to tighten these too much. It really is just hand tighten and then just snug them up with the scrunch. It doesn't need to be too much. So as you're tightening it, you tighten it with your tightening screw and then pull up on the chain, just kind of check and test where it is. You want to be able to see a little bit through, but you don't want it to be past a drive link to be past the top of your bar. And then to test it, I always run the chain a little bit just to make sure that it's moving freely. For all the chainsaws that I run, I am always running non-ethanol gas.
Just speaking from somebody who's had to rebuild several carburetors after leaving gas in there for a while, gas these days doesn't last very long. And I know non-ethanol gas can be more expensive, but honestly, it's more expensive and it takes a lot more of your time to have to deal with rebuilding a carburetor. And it's just peace of mind, and the gas will run a lot better. And it's just a lot better for your saw.
Thanks you guys for joining me today. As I mentioned before, this is kind of just my routine maintenance. There are more things that I do whenever I'm like fully servicing my chainsaws. And if y'all are interested in that, I can do that in another video. I hope this is some value to some of you guys out there. Maybe it's your first time getting a chainsaw and you're learning how to maintain it. If you like videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe and share. And until next time, you guys, get outside and do something you love.